Another one from Awesome Business Curriculum. In this project, students will launch a resale store business. I want you to think like REI and Target and Foot Locker. And so students are going to work over about 2 weeks to launch set it all up and launch their business. Let's go check it out. Okay, so here is the packet that the students work through online. What I've done here is I've created each of the steps that the students will work through. So here's step 1, and then right under that is their grading rubric for that step. And so we'll talk more about that. We'll talk more about kind of how that looks in more detail in a second. But I just want you to see that this project is made up of 7 steps. It starts with the students brainstorming 3 niche areas where they could start a resale business. Then they're going to go out and they're going to analyze their competitors in that niche area. So let's go down and look at steps 1 and 2. So the students will scroll down, they'll see, hey, step 1, they're gonna have to come up with 3 areas that they're passionate about for resale. So like jewelry and I don't know, clothing and I don't know, who knows, tires, whatever they're into. For each of the steps, I give an example so the students kind of get a feel for what it should look like. So here's my example niche: outdoor clothing and accessories. Okay, so they're going to come up with 3 ideas. Then they're going to work with you as the teacher to pick one that they're going to move forward with. So let's say they chose jewelry as their resale option, and then they just explain why. Then they go out and they find, for step 2, they find other companies, their competitors, who are selling similar stuff. So my example is REI. I'm from Minnesota, and so REI is a big outdoor, accessories company, resale company. And they answer 2 questions. 1, list all the products that they sell. Now, they're not going to get, REI sells thousands of products. They're going to highlight top 10 or something. And then what makes this resale store unique? That's interesting. And so for REI, you can join as a co-op. That's one of the unique things. So they're going to go out and find 3 companies who would be their competitors. Okay, now we come down to list all the products and brands that they would want to sell. So they're going to, my example is I found a kayak with a paddle. I want to sell this. List a product. Well, hey, I want to sell a kayak with a paddle. I think I'm going to charge $317 for it. And then who am I going to buy this from? Or who is going to be my supplier brand? And so I went out and found a kayak from the company Azul. And their specific brand or model is the Deluxe 10 kayak and paddle. And that's going for $317. So you can imagine the students creating a list of like 20 different products that they want to sell in their resale store, and the companies that they're going to partner with to locate those in their stores. Now, this is where it gets really fun. They're going to create a financial model of their business. So let's go over here and look at what that financial model looks like. Here's the financial model. Now, I've pre-populated it with some test dummy data just so you could see what it looks like, but the students would get a blank copy of this. Now check this out. Each part that they have to do is stepped out. So step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, etc. And most of the parts have video tutorials explaining to the students exactly what's happening and what to do. So that's nice for you as a teacher because you can just have the students watch this video tutorial and it's going to explain what this visibility stuff is all about. Well, let's go check this out. So the students are going to, this is based off of real resale marketing stuff. So like in places like Target, you can imagine that they have low visibility shelf space, they got medium visibility, and they got high visibility. So like eye level shelf space. Well, Target charges a different percentage to the brands based on their visibility. High visibility brands pay more in a percentage of their sales than low visibility. And so students will come in and they'll get to decide how much they want to charge their brands. So if they charge 15% for high visibility and 10% for low medium visibility and I don't know, 8% for low visibility, that's all going to dynamically update their financial model. So they get to come in and they get to decide what they're going to charge their brand. That's awesome. Okay, step number 2, they get to decide a slotting fee. This is a real fee that places like Target and Walmart and REI charge. And what this is saying, hey, every new product that you want to bring into our store, we're going to charge you a slotting fee. So it can, it ranges. It can be, a couple $1,000s. Sometimes Target charges up to like $20,000. It's crazy. So the students get to come in here, they get to charge whatever they want. And that's a one-time fee that a brand pays when they enter a new product. Again, there's a video tutorial here for the students that explains it in depth, so they'll get a feel. All right, step number 3, they come down and they're going to list out the brand. Now, I just put brand 1, brand 2, brand 3, just for dummy data, but they're going to actually put like Deluxe Kayak or whatever brand that they have. They're going to estimate their monthly sales units. So I'm estimating that I'm going to sell 569 units. They're going to estimate their price to customers. So in this case, brand 1, $18. They're going to tell like what shelf space they're going to put it at. Is it medium, low, or high visibility? And then the financial model will go through and it'll do the calculation of like, hey, based on what your assumptions are here, you're expecting $1,024 of monthly revenue from this product right here. And they list them all out and they do all that. And so they get, in the end, they get their total monthly revenue. So in this case, $22,767. That's all automated. They don't need to do any math on that. That just adds it all up. Then they come over and they do their company expenses. Now this is where it gets really fun. I've predetermined 3 expenses. Number 1, their mall space. So they're going to need some to rent a space out. What's fun about this is I've interviewed the Mall of America. I interviewed how they structured their mall space rentals, and I've built that into a really sophisticated model on the back end that students won't see, but I explain it in this video tutorial right here, how it all works. It's based on a percentage of sales. And so as their sales go up, their rent is going to go up. Again, the video tutorial explains it. Guess what? They're also going to need to hire some employees. I have a video tutorial here explaining how that all works. But check this out. I built a custom employee cost calculator here. This gets really fun. Students get to choose when their store is going to open. They get to choose what shifts. I have 3 shifts, a day shift, evening, and overnight. They get to decide, do they want just a day shift? Or do they want just an evening shift, etc. Now, they come down here for step 2. They choose the wages they're going to pay their employees. I have 4 tiers of employees. You can understand them here, tier 1 through tier 4. And they get to decide what their hourly rate is. So you can see like tier 1, they could choose $10 an hour. For their manager tier, they could charge or give a $20 wage, etc. Then they choose whether they want to have a hiring strategy of full-time employees or part-time employees. And it gives you a little like pros and cons here of hiring part-time versus hiring full-time. And it changes the cost structure. Then they come down and they start to assign the number of employees per day, per shift. So in this, again, this is just me throwing up some data here, but we're saying, hey, we're going to be open Monday through Sunday for 2 shifts. And these are the number of tier 1 employees we want on Monday, and we want a manager, etc. And then in the evening shift, maybe the business picks up here. We're going to want to increase our tier 1s. Maybe we don't need the manager class, we need the tier 3 class. And again, my video tutorial explains everything about what the difference is between tier 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And then finally, look, I said I don't want an overnight shift, so that's left blank. You come over here and it gives you a dashboard of how much you're spending per tier per month and a total monthly expense. That all flows back to your financial model. Notice that it's $14,745, and that's an expense. And so students get to play with this. Now, they can add other expenses as they want. You can help them as teachers think about other expenses, whether it's going to be a variable or one-time expense, etc. All of their expenses are summed up here, so $19,000. And so we come up here, it looks like we have a total monthly profit of about $7,000. That's a total annual profit of $75,000. You minus out 10% tax, and they're left with $67,000 in profit, annual profit. Wow, what great learning students are doing here. This is professional stuff. These are real concepts that retail marketers think about when they're bringing brands on. Lastly, this takes it to another level. When they're done setting up their plans, they choose, hey, we're going to submit our plan here. They come out and we got a dashboard. Check this out. This gives you high-level data of what your company is selling. These are your projected sales. These are your expenses. But check this out. This is where it gets really fun. I've built a simulation on the back end of here that gives them, hey, here are their projections, but look at, these are their actual sales. So you can see that for brand 11, they thought they were going to sell 409, but they ended up selling 692 for an actual revenue. And you can see where their visibility is, etc. Wow, that's fun. There's a chart down here that gets to show them their top 10 brands by revenue. So this is projected sales, and this is actual sales. And same thing for here. These are the bottom 10 brands by revenue. So they can see projected sales versus actual sales. Hey, we thought we were going to sell this much. We only sold this much. Then you can help them as a teacher strategize. Hey, these are our worst performing brands here. Let's go look at brand 20. They get to come back to the financial model. They get to find brand 20. And we can see that brand 20 is a high visibility location, like they've been placed high visibility, and they're not doing too well. Students get to strategize about what they would do. Should they just stop selling this brand? Or should they strategize moving it to a lower visibility? There's all sorts of things that they can do to try to remedy this. Hey, you guys, then we come back. So that's the financial model. Then the students create a brand experience. Wow. The students get to think about creating a brand experience that customers are going to enjoy when they walk in. Think about Target. Think about all these companies who spend millions of dollars creating that brand experience. They analyze their actual sales, and then they create a presentation. I got a template here. Let me show it to you. Here's the template that students come and they complete to present to class. So it's all filled out. They just stick images in here and fill in their information for all their slides. Hey, you guys, students love this project. I've had a lot of fun with it. Again, it takes about 2 weeks to work through. I incorporate, looking at marketing, retail marketers' LinkedIn profiles. And so students get to see that this is an actual career that you can make, good $100,000 a year off, if not more. Hey, well, that's the project. I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, and my email address is our company email address here, awesomebusinesscurriculum@gmail.com. Reach out if you have any questions, and keep being awesome.